wow. So we actually have a full-on teaser promo for Covenant, and I was unaware. Like, I remember seeing the clip, kind of like a sneak peek from, what was it? The Promise Part 1 and 2. That's going to tell the story of a desperate middle-aged woman who's falling into early menopause and risk her marriage to give her husband the child she can no longer conceive. So this video, what was it? The last video I did was pretty much talking about like articles about like, oh, here are the different stories. There's 4 total, and each story is going to be told in 2 parts for 8 weeks total. So it's going to be all on AMC's All Black ALLBLK starting this Thursday. And each story is going to be representation in the present day of different characters and stories of the Bible. So throughout this video, I'm going to kind of chop things up because the trailer is over a minute long. So for example, the first part I want to show you are things relevant to the first story, The Promise. Then I'll show you the brief clip from The Vow, then the Retribution, and then the Enemy. And I'll talk briefly about each one. So if you could follow along there, I think we're going to get along just fine in this video. So please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we get closer to 200,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post content on the channel. So what I'm going to do is play the first brief clip of the trailer for the Promise and get right back to you.
I think we should get a surrogate.
If God wants us to have a baby, we'll have a baby.
Now, are you pushing to have this baby because you want to have one? Or are you scared to lose your husband?
That was so long ago.
Doesn't matter how long ago it was.
I'd like you to meet Malcolm and Serena Fuller.
It's so nice to meet you both.
I don't trust her.
Alright, so I do believe the characters' names are Malcolm and Serena, respectively. And yes, Serena is definitely stressed out because she wants to give her husband a child, but she's unable to. And her friend points out whether or not she wants to have a baby because she actually wants a baby or because she feels having a baby will save her marriage. And later on in the promo, we actually are introduced to the potential surrogate mother. And I think there's a moment where we see her with child, and then also Serena's on the phone for her husband, and she's like, it doesn't matter how long it was, it's the fact that it happened. So I think that could suggest that he cheated on her in the past. But remember, I feel like this story is definitely influenced by Abraham and Sarah in the Bible. And oops, correction, there was a moment where I said it looked like he was sitting with a woman who was pregnant. No, it's just a woman with a purse. So my bad. All right, so the question is, you know, what happens when you try to interfere with God's plan? That's a caption that shows up in the trailer. What happens when you, what happens when we question God's plan? So it seems like anytime we try to intervene in God's planning, things just get worse, you know, when we try to do something ourselves, as opposed to waiting on God and his divine timing. So, you know, her friend, Serena's friend, says that she doesn't know if she can trust this surrogate mother, but you never know in these situations. I feel like there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. So do you think that Serena will eventually be blessed with her own child by her husband, or will it lead to some sort of affair, you know, like the surrogate mother actually, you know, potentially takes her place? So next up we have part 2, The Vow.
Seems like you two have been dating for a while.
I'm not used to moving this fast either. Feels right.
So right.
Do you love me, baby?
Get her out of here! Now!
You are immensely loved, and you are responsible for that gift.
Okay, now after watching this trailer, I think I understand what The Vow is about, because originally I thought it had something to do with, you know, maybe Moses, maybe Joseph, but no. A man who must hide his extraordinary abilities to fulfill his life's destiny to save his people. A destiny his rebellious, arrogant nature nearly destroyed. So honestly, I can't believe I didn't see it before. But again, after watching the promo, I realized this story is supposed to be a reflection of Samson and Delilah. Because it looks like this woman is maybe this man's sister or family member. And basically it's like, wow, it seems like you two have been moving, known each other for dating for a while. It's like, oh yeah, I usually don't move this fast in a relationship, but it just feels right because we see her pushing him on the bed. So we definitely have some, male or female persuasion here. Somebody who's supposed to stay on the right path, but is being tempted and pushed in the wrong direction. So, Palmer Williams Jr., we see him in I guess the parental figure role where he says that he doesn't want her in their house. So it looks like, he has to make a choice whether or not he wants to remain by his family side or stand with this woman. I mean, she says, "Do you love me, baby?" So I'm definitely getting those Delilah vibes where she asked about his powers and whatnot and his weaknesses and uses it to exploit him. So I really can't wait to see how that's going to play out in this kind of story. And it looks like he's being chewed out by, again, I guess his sister, about how you are immensely loved and basically, you can't abuse this gift. Because later on in the trailer, looks like she is being held by gunpoint, and is told to get out of her car. So based on the flashing lights, it looks like it's the police. So I'm really wondering what's going to come of this particular storyline. Now, next up we have part 3, and this one is called The Retribution.
To the Whitfields.
I need someone who's going to take this company into the future.
Everything's going to be okay. I'm here for you.
Your daddy had a bit of a scare.
A scare?
He had a heart attack.
All right, so The Retribution. A devoted husband and family man wakes up from his coma and immediately seeks to avenge his wife's honor after he learns she was violated by someone he trusts. I didn't really feel that from the actual trailer. It just seemed to me like the head of the family is looking to pass down the company to the next in line, and it looks like there are 2 sons, both played on Tyler Perry shows. We got Ian from If Loving You Was Wrong, and we have Calvin from Sisters. And it looks like, their father had like a health scare, and one of them needs to take over temporarily as CEO, and it looks like he makes Hayden the CEO, and he's shocked by this. It looks like he has a moment where he lashes out at his dad, and his other son is a bit taken aback because that was supposed to be his position, because in the promo there's a moment where it looks like he overhears his other brother being told that he will be taking over the company. So and I guess he's comforting his let me double check here, his mother, because maybe this is obviously a father decision and he's not the one chosen. So I'm wondering, because the mom was violated by someone that he trusts. So I wonder what this is all about. So I mean, is he the one? I mean, is that his mom? He's going to be there because it's all about, somebody who banged his wife when he was in a coma. So that could be part of it. Who knows? But this could possibly be in relation to Jacob and Esau. Maybe where the father gives the blessing to the son who's the youngest as opposed to the oldest. But then again, if Anthony Dalton is playing the other son of their father, and the promo says that the man in a coma, actually no, I think I know what happened here, because I do believe that his brother is married to this woman because of the similar look in face. I could be wrong though, because if Hayden is put into a coma and his brother takes over the company like he wants to, then he could possibly take what his brother has, because he's always coveted that by, sleeping with his wife, because the promo says A devoted husband and family man wakes up from his coma and immediately seeks to avenge his wife's honor after he learns she was violated by someone he trusted. So, who worse to violate you than your own brother? I think I got it. I think I figured it out. All right, now we go over to the final part, and that is part 4, entitled "The Enemy."
Decided to appoint an acting CEO, but I want Aiden to step into that spot.
Dad,
just for now.
But it was supposed to be me to take over the company.
Here's the key. We have to keep moving forward. We cannot afford not to speak to discrimination and racism.
Some guy did a hate speech. It started a riot. A lot of the kids started fighting each other. What the fuck is going on at that school?
I'm wondering, Mr. McVeigh, do you take any responsibility for this?
Outside, drag around back and use it for target practice. Oh, hey man, how you doing?
All right, The Enemy, a deeply religious, controversial lawmaker known for his ruthlessly aggressive tactics, risked his life, reputation, and career when he shockingly attempts to join and champion for the very community he tried to destroy. So, like I said in my original video, I feel like this is a Paul and Saul situation because we have a lot of, images or imagery that really harkens to 2020 from Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, and Karan Moore's character seem to be talking to the man in charge, the man who might be pulling a bait and switch to champion for the kind of community he was trying to destroy, about how we have to look into the future. We can't just stay present because of the fact that we can't just oversee this. We can't just turn a blind eye. We have to speak on racism and discrimination. And, there are some scenes about, what's going on at that school. Like somebody gave a hate speech and then that led to a whole bunch of craziness. And it looks like, there's some sort of like interrogation where the man in charge is being asked, I'm guessing the Saul character in this, did you have anything to do with this? So there's a moment where a couple of good old boys seem to be talking to each other, one telling the other, why don't you take her for a ride, lead her out back, and take her for target practice. So Karan Moore's character could be murdered by this man who just seems to walk up and say, hello, ma'am, because there's a van that says something, looks like it says plumbing in the background. So this could be pretty intense. I don't know. There are a couple of scenes I don't think I was quite able to fully dissect. Like there's a moment where it looks like the character from part 4, The Enemy, is getting assaulted by 2 black guys. I can't tell who this woman is from, with the crowbar looking like she's busting somebody's window out of the car. But if I were to make an educated guess, I would probably say this is Serena from part 1 of The Promise. Maybe she's taking her anger out on the vehicle of the surrogate mother or her husband. And aside from that, I think, that woman who looks like, there's a couple of black guys trying to get with her. Yeah, that's definitely part 1. So, yeah, I think I did it, guys. I think I broke down this promo from start to finish. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to be completely honest here. I can't guarantee I'm going to review this right away because each story will be told in 2 parts, 8 weeks total. So since there are 4 stories, it looks like there will be 1 part per week. Like, October 14th and October 21st will be both parts of The Promise. And then, we'll go on the next 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks until we're done on, I believe, December 2nd, unless there's some sort of hiatus in the middle of it. Maybe this will be something I review, in passing. Like maybe once the first 2 parts are done, I'll review them together. Look at it from my perspective. There is a lot I need to do. This week alone, we have the return of 4 Tyler Perry shows. You know how I am with Our Kind of People and The Wonder Years. But I will say, Wonder Years, Our Kind of People. The Wonder Years, House of Pain, and Assisted Living are short. The other shows are the ones that are in an hour. So I'll try to fit this in I'll review it before the end of the year. I think that's the best way to put it. There we go. All right, guys, are you going to check out this channel? This show. I don't have ALLBLK streaming. I need to see like how much it costs and everything like that. So if it's something I watch and review, I will let you know. But either way, it looks pretty dang good regardless. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Hope everybody stays well, stays healthy. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Or at the very least, make sure you like and subscribe.